It says where place of supply cannot be determined under section 1 of IGST Act. If any case it is difficult for anyone to decide how place of supply shall be determined, and law says in cases where place of supply cannot be determined, it shall be determined as per rules prescribed. Means who will prescribe the rules? Government, means GST Council will prescribe the rules, and as of now no rules have been prescribed so far. So if there is any case where it is difficult to determine the place of supply, we have to follow rules, but there is no rule as of now, though we are having in 7th year of GST. Moving further, friends, in case of import of goods, when we are importing goods to India, and it says where location of recipient is India, which place of supply will be determined, how it will be determined in case of imported goods. So law says in cases of imported goods, place of importer is place of supply. As I told you that GST is destination based consumption tax. So where goods have been consumed, revenue should go to that place, that state. So in imported goods, after custom clearance, consumer or the buyer will take these goods to its own premises and consume there. So consumer will consume in his factory at a place where he has his factory. So that state will get the revenue, because when goods are imported, after custom duty, whatever amount is arrived, consumer is supposed to pay IGST, because in case of imported goods, it is treated that it is a IGST transaction. So IGST will be paid, and that IGST will be shifted to the state where consumer take the goods and finally consume the goods. So in other words, value of such goods shall be the inclusive of custom duties, and IGST shall be paid by the importer under RCM, and he will claim ITC also. So consumer is paying tax because though he is a recipient, because it is an import. So outside India GST is not applicable, this law is not applicable to outsider, means the person who has supplied goods to India. So definitely the responsibility to payment of tax of IGST will be on importer. So importer will pay under reverse charge mechanism and also avail the benefit of taxes. Friends, like goods, in services also there are a lot of confusions, there are a lot of transactions which we have to understand. Otherwise we will not be able to practice GST. So section 12 of IGST Act talks about services, and it says in case of services, how place of supply shall be determined if supplier of service and the recipient of service both are in India. So means it is not a case of import export of services. It is a case where supplier is also in India, recipient is also in India, both are in India, maybe in different states, maybe transaction is subject to IGST, but place of supply has to be defined in case of services also, as we have done in the case of goods. So simple rule is where services is consumed, place of supply is that place, and revenue should go to that particular state where recipient has received and consumed the services. That is the fundamental rule of the GST. So law says in case of services, general rule is that I have explained you, if supplier is a registered person and supplies services to registered person, B2B transaction in India but located in different state, place of that registered person, means recipient, shall be the place of supply. Very simple. We do it this way only for all transactions where recipient is consumption is in that place and revenue should go to that place only, that state only. So IGST shall be charged if both are in different states. If they are in the same state, then intra-state transaction is there, CGST, SGST shall be charged. It says if recipient is unregistered person, if recipient is unregistered person, he doesn't have GST number and his address is available on record, and on official record his address is available with the supplier, the place of supply shall be IGST if he is in interstate transaction. If his address is available and he is in other state, so IGST will be applicable and it will be interstate transaction and revenue will go to that particular state where recipient is available, that unregistered person is available. But if his address is not available, his address is not available on record with the supplier, then what? Then location of supplier shall be the place of supply. Location of supplier means if a person in Delhi supplying some goods to Rajasthan to an unregistered person, but the person in Rajasthan doesn't have any official address in the record of supplier, then it will be treated as counter sale and CGST, SGST shall be applicable. IGST will not be applicable. So we have to understand it very clearly, very carefully. If in that particular transaction data is available or not, address is available or not, unregistered person has given his proper address or not. So in case of mobile charge, prepaid charges, it happens like this thing sometimes, or on counter sale it happens like many times. So we have to watch and study each and every transaction carefully, and accordingly it has to be mapped with the respective provisions of GST, and then we should pay GST, otherwise it will create problem for us. And law further says, see in this slide, in case of services, general law of GST is that place of supply of such transaction is where the recipient is placed. So if it is a B2B transaction, place of supply shall be the place of recipient, and if recipient is in other state, IGST shall be applicable. It is an interstate transaction. But law also says that this general rule of GST has some exceptions. This general law has some exceptions, means items or transactions listed in below given or following slides are not covered by this general rule. They are different. They are different from the basic rule of GST, that is consumption based tax or destination based tax. Though they are in line with basic spirit of the law, but situations are different, because though it is a B2B transaction, but recipient is not in the area or in a place where consumption is taken place. So let's see what are these transactions where consumption has taken place in a place other than the place of recipient. So friends, first case is in case of immovable property. Friends, GST law says in case of immovable property, it is very important friends, section 12 subsection 3 IGST Act. In case of immovable property, building, mall or any immovable property which is attached to earth, place of supply for architects, interior decorators, surveyor, engineers, valuers, estate agents, right to use. All these services are in connection with immovable property. Architect gives services for immovable property, Interior decorator gives services for interior decoration in a property. Surveyors give services related to some insurance claims in relation to immovable property. Engineers give, civil engineer or other engineers give services in relation to immovable property. Valuers for bankers, if you want to avail some loan, valuers comes for property valuation. State agents come for sale and purchase of immovable property. Right to use, sometimes you give property on rent to the companies or to other officers or to anybody else on rent purposes, for rent purposes. So GST says if such services are being rendered which are related with immovable property, then place of supply shall be the location of such property. Means where the property is located, that is the place of supply of that particular transaction. What does it mean? So let's understand this with this example. It says one of the office building of ABC Limited Mumbai, one of the office building of ABC Mumbai is in Chandigarh. Means this company is having one building in Chandigarh, and ABC Limited hired an architect and interior decorator from Mumbai itself, where they are located. ABC Limited is in Mumbai, they are having one building in Chandigarh. They hired architect and decorator from Mumbai itself to renovate and redesign the building. So if I go by general rule of the GST, supplier is interior decorator or architect and recipient is ABC Limited in Mumbai itself. Both are located or situated in Maharashtra. So it is intra-state sale and CGST, SGST shall be applicable. But it's not like that. It's not like that. So in this particular transaction, GST says the place of supply is where the building is located. So consumption of services is the place where building is located. So in this case, services are provided for a building which is located in Chandigarh, and the owner of this building is located in Maharashtra, and supplier of services is also in Maharashtra. So they will raise IGST bill because it is interstate sale, because the service given on for that particular building is located in Chandigarh. So friends, in case of IGST, in case of place of services, we have to be very careful to see what liability comes, how to deal with such type of situations. So these are listed transactions in law, so need not to worry. So to a general provision, general law, general rule of GST, there are exceptions. You have to keep in mind these exceptions, accepted transactions, and rest of the transactions are as per the general rules only. So in case of immovable property, if there is any service, accordingly tax will be levied. So read transaction carefully and then decide what to do, and refer relevant provisions also. So you must have in your mind that if the transaction is related with property, especially immovable property, then place of supply shall be the place where property is situated. Similarly friends, in case of hotel, inn, guest houses, homestay, clubs, boat houses, vessels or like accommodations. So these services are also related with your immovable property. Means you are visiting somewhere, if you are staying in hotel, you are visiting some place, you are staying in guest house, You have taken the services of guest house, you have taken the services of hotel, you have taken a food in hotel, then place of supply will be the location of that property, the place of that hotel. So it is exception to the general rule, and it says in case of hotel, inn, guest house, homestay, club, campsite, boat, vessel and like accommodations, the place of supply shall be the location of such hotel. So whenever you are availing such services, make yourself confident, ensure the place of supply shall be the location of the hotel, and accordingly tax will be charged. And it further says, but if such property is located outside India, place of supply shall be location of the recipient. Now situation is different. If property is outside India, then recipient location is important. But if property is in India, the location of property is important. So let's take example in this case to make it more clear. If employee of a company ABC in Mumbai has gone for official tour to Srinagar, he has gone for official tour to Srinagar, an employee of a Bombay-based company, and stayed at boat house or hotel, supplier or service or such boat house owner shall charge CGST, SGST and not IGST. Because supplier of service, that means hotel owner or the boat owner, they are in Srinagar and service is provided at boat or hotel to a person who is also in Srinagar. They have nothing to do with Bombay office of the company. Because property is located in Srinagar, so everything related to property will be served in Srinagar only. So location of and place of supply is Srinagar, so CGST, SGST shall be charged and not IGST. Not IGST. See the consumption pattern. The services consumed, availed in the state of Srinagar, J&K. So destination is J&K. So revenue should be of J&K. Koi services are consumed in J&K, not in Mumbai. Though recipient is in Mumbai. Further friends, in case of we are going for conferences, we are going for marriages, destination marriages, conducting fairs, workshops we are organizing for our employees or otherwise. What should be the place of supply? In case of destination marriages, conferences, culture programs, religious, business functions, workshops, any event related thereto or conducted in any hotel or auditorium, the place of supply shall be the location of such immovable property. Same rule. Where the property is located, supply is there. Tax will be charged accordingly. Again it says, outside India, then location is recipient. So if you are any employee going to Dubai for business purposes and you arranged one travel agent in Mumbai for your Mumbai office and he is arranging all these hotel booking and everything, so service provider and service recipient both are in India. So CGST, SGST shall be charged. So in this case friends, ABC Chandigarh conducting its dealers conference at Udaipur in Rajasthan, place of supply shall be Rajasthan, and the hotel will charge CGST, SGST to Chandigarh party, not IGST, because service is given in a hotel which is located in Rajasthan. But if such conference is conducted at Singapore, place of supply shall be Chandigarh because recipient is in Chandigarh, and here property is outside India, and this rule will applicable. In that case, IGST shall be charged. So these are some cases which are exception to our general rule of B2B transaction, and where the place of supply is as per the location of the recipient. But here situation is different. There are some business transactions related to immovable property, related to some hotels, related to some exhibitions, related to some conferences, destination marriages, where place of supply shall be the location where the actual consumption is taken place. In case of restaurants and catering services, so general rule says B2B transaction where recipient is there, place of supply will be decided accordingly. But here what it says in case of restaurant and catering services, place of supply shall be placed where actual service is rendered, where actual service is given. Tax will be charged accordingly, because it is a destination based tax, consumption based tax. So in consumption based tax, revenue should go to the state where consumption has taken place. So in this example is Mr. A from ABC Mumbai visited Chandigarh to meet company's GST consultant. Mr. A is employee of a company who has visited Chandigarh to meet their consultant in Chandigarh and had a lunch at Hotel Taj in Chandigarh. So restaurant services has been taken at Chandigarh in Hotel Taj. Though the consumer is from Mumbai, service provider is Hotel Taj in Chandigarh. So when he asked Hotel Taj to raise bill in favor of ABC Limited, Hotel Taj raised bill with GST, that is CGST or SGST, not IGST, because services are given in Chandigarh, consumption is taken place in Chandigarh, food is taken in Chandigarh, revenue should go to Chandigarh. So service of restaurant, revenue to government, that is of Chandigarh. So place of supply plays that much of role, otherwise it will defeat the purpose, defeat the spirit of law. Similarly friends, in case of services related with personal grooming, fitness, beauty treatment, health services treatment, including cosmetics, plastic surgery, etc. These are medical services. Though medical services are exempted from GST, but there are certain medical services like cosmetic surgery and all, they are not exempted from GST and are subject to GST. So here again, where the actual that treatment take place is a place of service. So in all these cases, place of supply shall be placed where services is rendered or actually performed or consumed. So anyone from Bombay went to Calcutta for his treatment from a particular clinic or particular hospital, services are given in West Bengal. If any amount is charged, it will be subject to GST, and CGST and SGST will be charged, not IGST, because these services are rendered and consumed in West Bengal only. So we have to understand the transaction in which fashion it has happened and have to map it with the provisions of GST law, and only then we will decide whether IGST is applicable or CGST or SGST is applicable. And keep one thing in mind, just check where the consumption has taken place. And if in transaction there is some foreign link, means recipient is in outside India or the property is outside India, then also again refer the specific section and then go further. Because in import and export business, we have different rules for different transactions. Similarly, friends, in case of training and performance appraisal services, so if we have sent some employees to some training institute for their training purposes, then consumption means service taken for as a training by the company will be the place where training is taken, and accordingly GST will be charged. So the training institute which has given training to our employees will charge CGST, SGST, not IGST. So it says to a registered person, then place of a recipient. So here again rule come differently. So we have to track each and every transaction. In case of training, place of supply shall be the, if it is B2B transaction, then the recipient, and otherwise it is place of supply where it is actually performed. Entry fee charged for culture program, sports event, exhibitions, science fair, education, entertainment event, concerts. So the place of supply shall be the location where such events are organized. So I may have gone to Dharamshala to watch cricket match in Dharamshala because the event is in Himachal. So if there is any tax on ticket of watching the match, it will be CGST, SGST, not a IGST, though I am from Chandigarh and I am having GST number. But the place of supply shall be the Dharamshala, Himachal Pradesh, and CGST will be charged.